Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Brew with Memli. We're going to continue our quest to brew the best Hario switch. Last time we saw that using the updated hybrid Hario switch method from Tetsu Kasuya resulted in an excellent cup of coffee, but there's actually a lot of parameters in this recipe that we want to play with. And throughout the next series of videos, I'm going to take every single parameter. The first parameter, the immersion time. We are going to do here the difference between a 30 seconds immersion, 40 seconds immersion, and 50 seconds immersion. We notice that the time of immersion between the first and the last pour structure is the same. But what if we fix the grind size, which we are going to do here, and play with the immersion time? That will be our first area to play. Then we're going to play with grind size. And I've done this experiment already, but you'll see that the finer grind size, the quicker the immersion you can allow yourself. Similar to a French press, basically, right? You can grind a little bit finer and just steep it for 3 minutes-ish. Or if you grind a classic French press recipe, you want that 4 minutes-ish steeping time. So grind size and immersion time go in pair. Then we will look at immersion volume. What if we use 50 grams of water or 60 grams of water? Because we have more water, is the extraction faster? We're gonna see that as well. That's quite interesting, and I need you to do those exercises as well because I only do it with my coffees, and I use 5 coffees: Ethiopian washed, Ethiopian natural, a Colombian washed, Peruvian washed, and a Colombian natural. But the more data we have, the better we can really understand how to brew this method based on the coffee that we have. And the last is the water. Remember that last part where we cool down the water? I'm not a big fan because there's no exact science about it. So the last part we'll see is during that last immersion, what temperature of the water we are using. So those 4 elements, first is the time we're gonna do today, next will be the grind size, then the immersion volume, and then the temperature. Let's start, and I'm gonna make sure that for each experiment I use the same coffee this time. Last time it was just we also introduced our new Peruvian coffee, but now we are going to use our washed Ethiopian. Wonderful. So recipe, remember, 15 grams of coffee for 225 grams of water at 92 degrees Celsius. The structure is 40 grams immersion, followed by 50 grams drip or pour over, 60 grams pour, and last but not least, 75 grams at low temperature immersion. And we're gonna make sure to respect the same immersion, so 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds. All right, let's start. Remember that our grind size is a 8.5 on my Ditting, so relatively coarse. Next video, we will play with the coarseness and the fineness of the grind size using the same immersion time. So let's do it. I'm gonna have to go fast here. So we're almost approaching 30 seconds, and boom, then I pour 50 grams until 110. Oh, sorry, 90. At 40 seconds here, same thing. At 220 here. Here you have to be really good with math because at 220, I have to open up this one. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Time-wise, we are very similar. 2 minutes 53, 2 minutes 54 seconds. So immersion look like it seems to homogenize things. Good to know. Well, this one took a little longer. So we have 2 minutes 53 and time 2 minutes 54 and 307. But let's see the taste now. Little softer. So quality-wise, we have kind of floral, slightly fruitiness, but slightly less intensity on the 50 seconds immersion. Let's taste. Lemon flavor. Slightly more brightness and more texture. I mean, it goes without saying that because we immerse it a little bit more, we have a nice texture here. Like from the texture, it's really hard to tell that it's in Ethiopian because it's really medium high. And this one, this one really emphasizes the sweetness. But here, I like this little, the acidity is not overpowering. And I feel like here we're losing a little bit our brightness. So what happened? This is your graph, right? For the 30 seconds, our acidity starts medium and then a little higher and then goes down. This one starts a little low and then goes towards medium, but the sweetness starts higher than here. And here we have very smooth acidity. Low to medium throughout the tasting. So it's really slightly more dynamic here. I will probably push this one. Just that it's a comfortable cup of coffee, thick, but it doesn't have any nuances on flavor and acidity. And I look mostly for flavor, acidity, sweetness, and bitterness level or dryness sometimes. Texture-wise, it feels thin here. It's light, but it feels also a little bit empty. Now you have some constancy, some juiciness, some substance in this one. Very thick here, which kind of overpowers and steal the show uh, compared to the acidity and the sweetness. For the finish, it's not dry. It's not dry. It's clean. A little short though. A little longer. Very smooth. Very long. Very smooth. Very long. Yeah, I still taste it. So really good experiment here. What we've seen, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds immersion. We have more brightness, nice juiciness, very great flavor complexity on the 30 seconds. A little bit dull on the 50 seconds and somewhere in between for the 40 seconds. When it comes to texture, they are both on the light medium juiciness here, but on the quality of the texture, a little bit thin here. It's lacking a little bit of substance. Very great one here. And here, super creamy, very nice, velvety texture, which impacts the aftertaste. We feel slightly more finish here and a little bit quicker here, but it's still very, it's not dry at all. It's still very pleasant and clean. It's just super great and pleasant and lingering on the 50 grams. But now we can ask ourselves the question, what will this taste like if we ground the coffee finer, right? Maybe this one, we will increase its texture and increase its aftertaste. Maybe this will become almost dry, right? What if we go coarser? If we go coarser, maybe this will actually start tasting very bright and slightly nicer, and this one will be overly sour, right? So it is a matrix between the time of immersion and your grind size, and also, which we'll talk in the last video, the volume of um, of your immersion. That's it for today. I'm not going to do a big video with all the parameters. We're going to take the parameters one by one. And here I wanted to show you the immersion time. So thank you very much for watching. Please do those experiments at home. I know you need kind of a 3 scale and 3 brewer to do it, but at home you can do it with your single brewer. Every day you just change that time using different beans, for example, different roasting style, and see if that 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds matches what you have with your beans, with your equipment, with your water, etc., etc. I'll be very interested to know as well. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time for Grind Size.